Let's introduce a man who's a drum teacher, for one. He's also been in a lot of bands, including Raw Honey, the Veins, Gary Richrath Band, Trip Rod, The Shake. The Bogart Jones Band is his current band, and let's hope this works. If not, we'll put him on the other route, but I think it's going to work. Tim Fiers, let's hope he's still there with us. Are you there, buddy?
Lost him.
You there, bro? Hello, Tim? Oh, I think let's try another route. Tim, are you there, bro?
I'm here, brother.
Okay, it's not working, so what I'm going to do is try this route here. Okay, now I've got you on speakerphone, which is the way we're going to have to do it. Thanks for being here, Mr. Fiers. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, man. How you doing, brother?
It's so good to talk to you again. We spent about 5 years in a rock and roll band together, and some of the best years of my life, and you're one of my favorite drummers, dude, and I'm just glad you're here.
Dude, I really appreciate that, man. I had an absolute blast for that time period, and I finally look back on that.
Hi, Timmy.
Hey, Tracy, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to hear your voice.
Yeah, right back at you guys. I love you guys.
Yeah, you too, man.
So you just got back from doing a big gig. You said it was kind of like a Sturgis kind of gig. What was that you played, man?
Yeah, that was with the Bogart Jones Band. That's the band that I play in. That we do pretty much all our own stuff in that band. We rarely do a cover, but it was it was kind of a biker deal they got going on there in Savannah, Illinois, where that's kind of where I'm from, and I'm from Central Illinois for your listeners that are from out west. And yeah, it was pretty cool, man. There's hundreds of bikers out there, and went over really well. They're going to have us back next year, apparently. So yeah, it was really cool.
Now, we always tell people that John Bonham is your primary influence. Is that correct, or do you have other drum influences, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's my number one, but I mean, there's a ton of them that I love. Mitch Mitchell from Jimi Hendrix Experience, and Keith Moon, of course. How can you leave that guy out, you know? And one of my favorite drummers today is John Paul Gaster. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but he's a drummer for Clutch.
I'm familiar with the band, but you're educating me on the band members' names.
Right on, brother. Yeah, he's kind of the modern-day John Bonham today. A lot of people consider him the modern-day John Bonham.
That's awesome, dude. You know, I was telling people earlier, all the bands that you've been in, including Raw Honey, The Veins, Trip Rod, etc., etc. Do you have a favorite band or two that you, throughout your life, you consider like the best times are your favorite bands?
No, not really, man. I mean, every single one is a different experience. You know what I mean? So I can't really you know, they're all like kind of like your kids. You know what I mean? When people say, you know, pick your favorite song, you know, that you've ever written. I love them all, man. They've all made me who I am today. So I can't say one over the other, really.
Yeah, that makes sense completely, bro. You know, a lot of folks are fans of the band REO Speedwagon. We tend to play lots of the old REO like stuff that they were doing back in the old days, like Golden Country and, you know, 157 Riverside Avenue and that great rock and roll. And for a while, you were actually playing in a band with Gary Richrath, the famous guitar player for REO Speedwagon, who is from our old neck of the woods there in Central Illinois. I'd like to know, and I'm sure the listeners would like to know, bro, how did that happen? How did you get hooked up with Gary Richrath for the period of time you guys were getting ready to start playing together, you know, professionally?
Yeah, that happened kind of weirdly, actually, because I was in a band at the time called Drugs Delaney, which is a band that's still going around here. And we were supposed to go on the road for like a 10-month period on jumping on different tours with different artists. And I ran into a buddy of mine who was very close with Gary Richrath, literally like a week before I was supposed to hit the road with this band. And he said, hey, man, you should audition. Matter of fact, I'll set it up. You should audition for Gary. He's putting together a band. And I said, dude, it couldn't come at a worse time, man. I'm getting ready to hit the road for an extended period of time, and I can't do it. So long story short, I go on the road. I hated it. I was on the road for a month and sleeping in a van every night, you know, parking in a Walmart parking lot every night. I mean, it was low class, you know what I mean? So, but anyway, so I quit the band on the road. I quit in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Luckily, they drove me home, and I'm still friends with those guys. Everything's cool. So I came home a month later, and I ran into the same guy again, literally, like when I got home. We went out and watched another band play, and Gary was there. And he introduced me to Gary, and he set up this audition, and I was the last guy to go in. I think they had 4 other drummers play before me, before I came in, and it went great, man. And Gary's super cool, man. I wish I could have made it to the stage with him, but unfortunately, things didn't happen that way. But he ended up passing. But yeah, I look back on that fondly, man. It was cool, man.
Can I ask you, when you guys were rehearsing, was it a lot of fun? And what old REO Speedwagon songs were you guys working on, bringing to the people?
Dude, it was amazing because I'm a big fan of REO prior to 1981.
Me too.
And so, yeah, so we were doing, matter of fact, I still have a set list here. We were doing
nice.
Only the Strong Survive, Take It on the Run, a song called Easy Money, which is really cool. That's early stuff there. Riding the Storm Out, of course, Like You Do, Flying Turkey Trot,
yeah,
157 Riverside Avenue, Son of a Poor Man, Roll Up the Changes, Golden Country, Back on the Road Again. I mean, these are all the classic REO that I really love, and I'm sure you guys do too, that were raised on, prior to, Gary's real deal was from about 76 to about 80 is when he really peaked, in my opinion.
Yeah. And some of those songs you named, man, like Back on the Road Again and Flying Turkey Trot, they are just complete classics in my book. Some of the best rock songs ever written, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And when I was rehearsing with him, I got to ask him a few questions. I was kind of the only one that in the band that was like, hey, man, what about this? What about that?
Yeah.
But I remember asking him when they wrote, let me see, like Back on the Road Again was written by the bass player, Bruce. But I remember asking him about certain songs, did you think you had a hit when you wrote that song? And he said, yeah. He said, most of the songs that became hits when we were in the studio recording it, we all felt like, yeah, we got a hit on our hands here.
Wow. So they were able to kind of gauge it ahead of time, and, they could hear a good song just like we could,
Right. Yeah, yep.
So how long did you end up rehearsing with Gary and the boys before his untimely passing, Tim?
I think it was probably about 3 months, maybe 4 months, maybe. We were literally like 2 or 3 songs away from having a full set and booking shows.
Wow.
So, so I mean, when he passed, we had, I think, maybe 2 or 3 songs on the list that we hadn't hit on yet, but probably 95% of the set list was ready to go. And funny thing is, man, his wife showed up at a rehearsal one time. Justine, right? Yeah, Justine is his wife, and she showed up one time at a rehearsal and showed us a picture that was sent to her of a big outdoor amphitheater with like 20,000 people. I think it was in Oklahoma, and the promoter had sent her a message saying, I want the Gary Richrath Band on this show next year.
Wow.
And so we were literally going to be playing some pretty big shows with him, it looked like. Not all of them, but some of them would be pretty big, I think. So.
Dude.
But yeah, I mean, all you can say is, wow, that's pretty cool that almost happened.
Yeah, I even told Tracy, I said, when these guys do their very first show and they announce it, no matter where it's at, we are going to fly there, and we were going to.
Wow, dude, that would have been spectacular.
Yeah, because, like you, I grew up listening to that guy, so I would have definitely flown anywhere in the United States. You guys were playing that first show. I couldn't wait, and I was devastated when he passed. But, I guess you have to take the life as it is, and it's beautiful that you had that experience, man, and I'm glad that you got to do it, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate that, brother, and I definitely would have did all I can, put you guys on the guest list and give you the VIP treatment at the show for sure.
Oh man, it's cool, bro. I appreciate that. Speaking of me and you, we were in a band together. We don't have a ton of time, but we were in a band called Bloody in the Veins for quite a few years. We did a lot of big gigs, a lot of little gigs. Got scouted by Epic Records. We did a record. Had a record label. Do you have any 1 or 2 good memories that are crazy memories or funny memories from that band that pop out if you think about it at all that you could share, or no?
that you can share. Those are the key words in that sentence.
What's Tracy saying?
I said that you can share on the air. That would be the key words in that sentence.
Yeah, that's why I laughed, is because most of the great stories I really can't share with the listeners. I wish I could.
It was kind of a trick question. I wanted to put you on the spot.
Yeah. Well, there's a ton of them, actually. I mean, when we played with Nazareth, that was a really cool experience. And, you know, just meeting those guys. And those guys are legends in my my book. And I'm sure they are in yours, too, Bloody. You know what I mean? So,
Heck yeah.
But yeah, that was a big one, man. Opening for Nazareth. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. The Veins, we did a record together. It's just called The Veins, but it's a great album. And, you know, in my humble opinion, it's one of the best things I've done in my 36-year career. So proud to be on that with you and Bully and Dave Glover.
Dude, that's a great record. Matter of fact, that record still stands up today, in my opinion, man. I have people come up to me because I'm out and about a lot. If I'm not playing, I'm out watching other bands and other artists play and supporting the local scene around here. And I have people come up all the time saying, dude, that Veins record still kicks ass today, man. It's still good stuff, man.
Well, you know, after we're done talking, we're going to play a song called Down on My Luck from that album.
Love it. I absolutely love that tune.
Yeah, I remember recording it. It was so fun recording that album. I know you're still teaching drums too, Tim. How many students do you currently have, man?
Each week I do about 25 to 30 students.
Wow.
So I keep
Awesome.
busy, man. I love it, man. I make my living by playing drums, man, completely.
Tracy, got a question for Timmy?
Well, I was just going to say, you know, even to this day, like when people will ask me, you know, like who my favorite drummer is, I always say that, you know, like Keith Moon, John Bonham, and Tim FIERS. And, you know, people will be like, oh, well, yeah, who's Tim FIERS? And I'm like, he's like John Bonham, only, you know, just probably better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Wow. I'm humbled by that. That is incredible. So thank you so much, Tracy, for that. I appreciate that.
You're welcome, Timmy. And I know you just said that, you know, you're able to make a living doing what you love. You're teaching drums, so that's great. If you could go back, like in time, say, to, you know, when you were a kid, before you were ever really a musician, or before you ever picked up your sticks for the first time, if you didn't go into music, what would you have done other than music? What would you say would be your second love? What do you think you would have done?
Well, you know what's ironic about you asking me that is I wanted to be a DJ, like what you guys are doing.
Huh.
Wow.
That's cool. That's music
So actually,
related, though.
When I first went to college, I only went to college for about 3 months. Once I figured out they don't take attendance, it was over for me. But I actually went into TV and radio when I went to ICC here in the Central Illinois area, and I was gonna try to get on radio just like you guys are doing. So
Nice.
I salute you guys, man, for sure.
Awesome.
Well, you definitely have a good radio voice, bro.
No, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
It's funny. I always thought that was kind of funny when they say good radio voice, because I always thought I had a good face for radio.
You have a spectacular face for radio.
Oh, it's funny, man. Yeah, dude. Well, I really appreciate you, making the time to join me and Tracy for a little chat on the Church of Rock. I know you're still currently with the Bogart Jones Band. What's coming up in the future for you, bro? What's going on in the future?
Coming up, I think we're going to release a whole new album with the Bogart Jones Band. That'll be in hopefully October, but you know how that goes. You just take a guess at it. But yeah, that'll be a full-length CD that we'll release hopefully by the end of the year, before the end of the year. That'll be called Beneath the Scars, and people will be able to purchase it or get even the current album on Spotify, or you can go to iTunes, or basically where you get music today. And I think we're even going to make some vinyl on this new album.
Dude, I have to get a copy. I can't wait to get that.
Yeah, dude, I will definitely send one out to you for sure, you and Tracy. So I've never been on like a full length vinyl before. With the Veins we did I think a couple singles, but I've never been on a full-length album before, so I'm looking forward to that. Yeah,
I forgot the Veins did. We did do a 7-inch split record with a band called the Psychedelics, and you can find it on YouTube. Type in Bloody in the Veins. We did a cool cover of Nancy Sinatra's These Boots Are Made for Walking, which was pretty powerful.
Oh, man, we used to kick ass with that song live, man. Yeah, that was a barn burner.
That was a good one, man, for sure, bro. Well, yeah, great talking to you. We're going to go ahead and roll into a tune. Tracy, you might want to use the chord up there, honey. And we're having to do some technical difficulty things, but we're making it work. My friends, you are listening to KSKQ Radio. We're wrapping up our chat with drummer and rock legend Tim FIERS from Central Illinois. Hey, Tim, what city are you living in these days? Are you in Bartonville area?
I was born and raised in the Bartonville area, but I currently live in Creve Coeur, Illinois, believe it or not. Right down from where you used to have shows, man, not too far from the BFW or something. I think you had a bunch of shows there back in the day.
A lot, yeah, and it's weird. I have a lot of friends in that town. A lot of things have changed since I left there almost 9 years ago, man. But, dude, it's great. We've kept in touch. I wish you nothing but the best of luck with the band, and, God bless you, man, and I hope you keep rocking until you can't, man.
Right on, brother. I hope to maybe rock one more time with you, man. Sometime. You never know what the future holds, man.
Never say never, right?
That's right. Never say never, and I love you guys very much, and thanks for having me on, guys.
We love you too, Timmy, and thank you so much for taking the time to join us here on the Church of Rock. It's been awesome talking to you.
No problem. You guys are welcome.
Okay, brother. Much love, Tim FIERS. This is Down on My Luck from 1999, Black and Blue Records. It's Bloody and the Veins with Tim FIERS on the drums. Pay attention, folks. He'll teach you how to do it the right way at KSKQ and the almighty Church of Rock. Take care, Tim.
Bye, Timmy.
All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Cheers.